You know, when you stand in New York and you just look up at that incredible skyline, it really feels alive, doesn't it? It's like this forest of glass and steel giants, all reaching for the clouds. But how did that even happen? I mean, how did this city become this global symbol of ambition? Well, to figure that out, we've got to go way back, long before the skyscrapers, to its very, very roots.
And that quote right there, that's the key to the whole story. New York's growth was never an accident. It was a constant battle, a story of struggle, of ambition, and, ultimately triumph.
So let's start that story in a place you probably wouldn't even recognize. We're winding the clock all the way back to the 1600s, when Manhattan was just a small Dutch colony, just getting its sea legs.
Yeah, forget skyscrapers for a minute. Just picture a small, kind of quaint European trading town. We're talking simple, functional buildings made of wood and brick, with those classic pointy gabled roofs. This was New Amsterdam, a quiet little settlement that had absolutely no idea it was laying the groundwork for the future capital of the world. But what's really cool is that its Dutch foundation is still there, kind of hidden in plain sight. I mean, look at a map today. Some of New York's most famous names are direct echoes from that time. Broadway? That was once Breedweg. Wall Street? Yep, named for a literal wall they built for defense. The city's very language carries its history. Now, things started to shift in 1664 when the British took over and renamed the colony New York. The whole feel of the place began to change, and so did the architecture. You go from that simple, functional Dutch style to the much more formal British Georgian look. We're talking symmetry, grand entrances, big windows. This was the beginning of that more formal city feel. But the next century, oh, that's when things really took off. The 1800s brought this massive wave of humanity to New York's shores that would completely reshape its character, its culture, and yeah, its architecture, forever. Millions. That's the scale we're talking about. People pouring in from all over the world, all looking for hope, a new life. And they brought this incredible energy with them that just fueled the city's expansion, both outward and, pretty soon, upward. And with all these new people, you needed new kinds of buildings, which gave birth to some truly iconic New York styles. You start seeing those elegant brownstones lining the residential streets. Then you get the innovative cast iron buildings in places like Soho, which allowed for these huge windows. And for public buildings, they went with this powerful neoclassical style. Think grand columns and domes. And you have to understand, the message behind all this architecture was totally deliberate. These weren't just places to live or work, they were statements. New York was announcing its arrival on the world stage, using brick and stone to project its growing power and influence. But, as ambitious as these buildings were, they were still limited by the laws of physics. They could only go so high. Well, that was all about to change. A single technological breakthrough was about to unleash a revolution and kick off the legendary race to the sky. So it all really comes down to this one question. What was the one invention that let buildings stop worrying about gravity and start competing with the clouds? The answer? Steel. Or more specifically, the steel frame. See, before this, a building's walls had to support all the weight, which really limited how high you could go. But the steel frame? It acted like an internal skeleton, carrying the entire load. And suddenly, the walls were just curtains. The only limit to a building's height was pure ambition. And oh boy, did that ambition explode. Almost immediately, you had pioneers like the Flatiron Building, which just boldly embraced this new shape. Then came the Woolworth Building, which for a little while was the tallest building on the entire planet. And then you get these massive projects like Rockefeller Center, a true city within a city that just screamed corporate power. Architecture had officially become a race. Now, this race really hit its creative peak in the 1930s. This was the golden age of New York architecture, the glamorous, the defiant, the completely unforgettable Art Deco era. Art Deco was just pure confidence turned into design. It took the materials of the industrial age, stone and steel, and it made them glamorous. It's all about these bold geometric shapes, sharp, soaring lines, and elegant details that turned these massive structures into true works of art. And if you need just one building to perfectly define that elegance, it has to be the Chrysler Building. I mean, that shimmering sunburst spire and those eagle gargoyles, it's the absolute masterpiece of the style. It's not just a skyscraper, it's a monument to craftsmanship and just sheer artistic beauty.
And standing right there beside it in history is the Empire State Building. What's incredible is that it was built during the Great Depression, so it became more than just the world's tallest building. It was this powerful symbol of defiance. It was proof that even in the darkest of times, New York's spirit could not be broken. The city never stops building. The skyline just kept evolving into the modern era, of course. But its story would soon become one not just of innovation, but of profound tragedy and ultimately of incredible resilience. The story of the World Trade Center is so central to modern New York. When the Twin Towers opened in 1973, they completely redefined the skyline. Their loss in 2001 was a tragedy that was felt around the world. But when One World Trade Center opened in 2014, it wasn't just about rebuilding. It was a profound statement about the city's unbreakable strength and its capacity to rise again. And today, that skyline just keeps changing. Sleek glass towers dominate the view now. There's a whole new generation of super tall, super slender luxury towers that are once again redrawing the city's silhouette. The architecture itself, shaped by all this new technology, is a direct reflection of New York's status as a global hub of finance, power, and modern culture. So next time you look at that skyline, remember what you're really seeing. It is so much more than just buildings. It's a timeline of history written in stone. It's a testament to the dreams of millions carved into concrete. And it's a monument to relentless ambition rising in steel. Every single one of those buildings tells a piece of this incredible story. This visual record of the city's journey is always being updated, always changing.